Hey, what's up, guys? Timmy here, bringing you the first stream in about, I think, 2 months. So it is a clan versus clan tournament today on January 30th. So let's go and look at my account and see what I've done here today. We're just jumping right into this video, jumping right into stream. So I've put up almost 300k points, doing mostly spider, and then I did do some campaign farming with some champions. I leveled a couple of my 4 stars up to 40, so I should have a bunch of 4 stars ready to get fed. So those are two very good ways you guys can get points in CVC. I've also gained a lot of silver doing the spider and doing the 12-3 with the auto sell. On spider, I've started selling everything 5-star, and then I sell everything on the campaign farming, obviously. So we got a good amount of silver. One thing that I did want to show you guys, because this video I'm going to hop onto Malmorn's account. I'm going to show everybody kind of what he's got going on over there and what I want to change. But before I do that, I want to talk to you guys about how to do some gear and how to use the Hell Hades optimizer if you have that available. So let's go into my artifacts. And you can see all of my artifacts are leveled up to at least 8 or 12. 16 means I probably put them on a champion and then replace it with something else. But you want all of your artifacts to be leveled up to at least 8. For the higher profile sets, for the better sets like speed, I'll level everything up manually kind of to 12. And I do that for the better sets like crit damage. I level a lot of stuff up to 12. Accuracy, a lot of stuff up to 12. And then the lesser sets, like which I would consider resistance, lifesteal, just keep them leveled to 8. And then you know if the pieces are good or not. So do that for all of the gear here. So as I'm going through the game and I'm doing all my dailies every day, and I'm doing my 5 tag arenas, I'm getting my extra faction wars keys, and I'm getting a lot of forge gear. As you can see, I have quite a bit of perception to be forged, resilience to be forged, doom tower sets. I like fatal, I get a lot of fatal. And then even the forge pass sets, which I get every forge pass. Doesn't matter if this set is good or not. It's more important to get more rolls onto more pieces of gear. Because the more gear that you roll, the better chance you're going to have to get better rolls on the gear. So it doesn't always matter if this set is together. So forge, that's all good. So what do you do when you have all these champions that are built, or most of the champions that are built? As you can see, I have quite a few champions here. I try to keep everybody in a build. Sometimes I steal some gear from them. Tomb Dragon does not have an amulet. That's on purpose. Everybody should be in a build. You know, all my champions. A good build, not just a build. So that's just the legendaries. I got another page, a lot of legendaries down here. See, so I stole some gear off of Syl. She needs to be rebuilt. Rhonda has some not leveled up pieces here. But everybody should be in a build. So these people need to be rebuilt. And why some of these champions don't have gear on them is because over time I don't use them as often. So I stole the gear because they had decent gear on them to put on champions that I'm using more that are stronger now. But it doesn't just stop at legendaries. This applies to epics and rares as well. A lot of these epics here that I use at the top with the 6 stars, I use them all the time. And they're extremely strong. It's very easy to farm their souls using the soul altar, just doing Iron Twins every day. And I've really started to abuse that. I don't use Madame Sears nearly as much anymore now that I have a Kymar. But Skull Crown is still extremely powerful. Seer, obviously extremely powerful. Royal Guard, super powerful. Ugo. Seeker, he runs my clan boss team. And these champions are going to be great for the new Cursed City and also the old Doom Tower secret rooms, things that you should be focusing on as you're trying to get kind of closer to your end game progression. Eventually, you're going to want to get Romantu Drake's Blood, which I'm pushing for right now. So don't slack on leveling up rares and epics of different varieties that you're going to need. I think I got Fennex pretty recently, so he has a pretty crappy build. But I did get a nice soul for him, so he will get an upgrade here pretty soon. He's a really good champion. And just don't sleep on these rare champions. These rare champions, I mean, these epic champions are really, really good. These epic champions are really good, and you can farm their souls super easy, and it makes a huge difference. It makes them super strong if you can farm these souls. And I do the same thing with some of these rares too. You know, I got the Cold Heart, I got the Elhain. My Elhain's in a pretty good build. I use her. You know, the starters don't need that much crit rate. She's got some nice crit damage, good attack. So I use her in those rare secret rooms, and she can really blast the waves. And you know, like same thing like with the Bellower. The Bellower, I have it in a stun set, decent stats, so they can kind of get through that end game niche content that normal players are going to have a tough time doing. If you start building these champions now, it's going to be a lot easier, and they have other uses in the game too. So War Maiden is really good. She has the AoE decreased defense. Most players know to get the War Maiden early because of that decreased defense, but she doesn't really fall off because of this new content and because of the secret rooms. This skill is powerful. In a rare only situation, it's going to be powerful. Fellhound, I use him as my campaign farmer because he doesn't need speed to be a campaign farmer, because campaign farmers are the campaign is slow, so I can just give him tons of crit damage and a little bit of defense, and he'll one-shot all of them because again he doesn't need speed. I could use something like my Skull Crown, but Skull Crown's a little bit slower. Fellhound has a really fast attack animation, so it's about 1 second faster than any other champion, so that's why I use him. But as I move through the game and I get all my new gear, I have quite a bit of gear right now. I'll re-gear or I'll put the new gear that I have on the champions that I want to build. So instead of taking the gear that I just leveled up, I just got, and try to stick it on champions that already have gear on them. Let's go to the Doom Tower, and there's one secret room. I haven't tried this one yet. This one should be easy, but there's one secret room I'm having trouble with down here. So let's look at it. It's a rare only secret room. Rare Spirit. This is an extremely shitty secret room, and none of my champions right now have gear on them, because what happened was last time that there was a room like this, I put gear on them, I leveled all the gear up to 16, and I put glyphs on it. I gave them all level 16 gear with glyphs, and then when I was done with this room, I saw that some of those pieces ended up being really good, and then I moved those really good pieces onto champions that I use every day. So we're going to do that process again. We're going to go into these champions. Start with the Soulbound Bower. Got no artifacts here. Got a blessing. Always Phantom Touch at this level. And we are going to give her a build. So I'm just going to use the Hell Hades Optimizer. If you don't have the Optimizer, you can use the priority stats. And leveling up your gear from 0 to 8 or 0 to 12 will help you when you're looking at the priority stats. So let's see if I can show that somewhere here real quick. So when you go into filter, priority stats, this is a newer feature. I think it's been around for maybe 6 months. And you can say that you want your HP. Well, let's make it accurate for her actually. For her, we want max crit rate. We want max crit damage. We want attack. And we want some speed. And we'll just see what happens with that. So what it does is it filters all of these items that we're looking at here. So the items that fit the most of these parameters are going to be at the front. So maybe I have too many things checked for us to really see the power of this. So Let's go no speed. And let's get rid of the crit rate too. We can handle the crit rate on our own. So now it's going to push us anything that has crit rate or crit damage and attack. It's going to try to push those items to us first. Highest crit damage, 3 crit damage here. Crit damage here. So attack. You know, and it's just whatever you have in that set. It's going to push it to the front. So, okay, I don't really like that. I was doing this. Attack. So it's a decent way to do it if you're doing everything manual, but I'm sure if you've never used the Hail Hades optimizer and you're doing everything manual, you already know what you're doing, so you don't really need, and you can look everything up online anyway. So I'm just gonna grab a quick build for the Soulbound on the Hell Hades website. I'm not going to show it to you guys. I don't think I need the screen grab for this one because it's just gonna be a really fast build. But again, she is an attack champion, so we are trying to build her for damage. And for the content that we're going to be using her in, Doom Tower Hard, I think that she should probably have about 180 speed. Because, so the Soulbound Bower is the only level 60 out of all the rare spirits that I do have. So we're just going to make sure that the optimizer is going to give her 180 speed, and then we're going to do everything else for damage. So she should have a decent amount of attack, decent amount of crit damage. You know, and then I'll pump a little bit of HP into her actually too, also not too much. So if you guys use the optimizer, you know that you can kind of go to damage mode, put it on damage mode, and then go into the stats. And if there's a minimum that you want to hit on any of the non-attack based stats, you can kind of force it. So right now I'm forcing her to do 180 speed, 30,000 HP, and then all the rest of the stats are going to be pushed into damage. Alright, and it's found me some builds, so I don't need to get the best build. So, oh, nope, wait a sec. Just trying to take equipped artifacts. Do not want to do that. We just want her to pull from the brand new artifacts that I've just farmed, that I've just leveled up to 8 and 12, and kind of pull from those ones, because we don't know how good they're going to be. But as you take these items and put them on new champions and level them up, then you know if they're good. And if they are really good, then you can take them and recycle them onto your good champions. Alright, looks like we've got another build here. Perfect. A build of all unique pieces. Can you hear me? I messed with all the audio before the video, so everything should be good. Can you hear me? I messed with all the audio before the video, I'm playing my own video now. Okay. All right, let's start putting this build on her. This is not the best build, but it's a decent build. I didn't let the optimizer run to 100%. I wanted to run for like 8 minutes. If I'm not doing anything, you know, I'll do that. I'll go make some food or something, but we are trying to complete this secret room, you know, so I am going to level these items up. If they're not already leveled up. Alright, so here we go. Got a little build to the Soulbound Bowyer. And I'm just going to level all of these items up to 16. And I'm going to glyph them. Because we are actually trying to use this rare champion for real content. For endgame, for the Doom Tower Hard and Curse City, so... And this is just kind of how I do my account over time without really trying to break anything because we're all busy and the game takes a lot of time. So on like a day-to-day, like while you're doing your faction wars, while you're doing your Doom Tower forge farming, and you're getting all this gear, it's important to be able to filter it, you know, obviously using the RSL helper, but also put it on to champions. Because that frees you up to put more gear on your account without actually deleting gear. You're saving it. So boom, here we go. I got my Soulbound Bowyer. Just got a little build here. You know, just a quick little 237 crit damage, a little bit of attack. I'm not going to show you guys the secret room because I'm going to do all the other champions and stuff. That's going to take me a little time. But I guarantee you can go onto the Doom Tower, check out secret room 4 on hard here within the next 24 hours, and you'll see that I would have completed it. Alright, so now I am going to hop onto Malron's account and do a little show off there because the people in the clan were interested. So let's do that. Pretty stoked. I think I'm gonna get the free Lego tomorrow during the CBC. So that's not the case with my free to play. My free to play is 1 day behind. So a little bummed about that. But we're not going to get on this account. I've farmed a ton of silver on this account since I've obtained it. That's pretty much all that I do. I have put some money into it, maybe like 20 bucks every CVC, and I just run Spider on the account. Same thing that I've done today. The Spider is not perfect. I'm just using his Spider account. I really haven't changed too much yet as far as teams go. That's why I've been farming so much silver. I did get this stage 5 down to 12 seconds, and that's kind of just what I do. I just farm the stage 5. It's not always 12 seconds. Sometimes it's like 30 seconds. But I kind of I figured 6 was a little bit too much for what his account offered. So I just did the 5. As you can see, there's only there's 2 max HP champions. Riho is awesome. My favorite champion that I have on this account that I don't have on my other account. Super fun. The Ragash brings a tiny bit of damage, but he's defense-based, so he won't die. And he brings strength for your team. And then the Artak, the AoE HP burn, is still slightly effective even on hard mode. But yeah, just kind of hyper tuning that team right there was one of my focuses, and then also the Hydra boss, obviously. So I did make him a hard Hydra boss team maybe 6 months ago, and he changed the whole thing up, which is fine. But this guy, he got a Soul 4. He has a block buffs. He's not as good as Ugo. So we're gonna put Ugo back in here. We are gonna use Nekamo kind of as a lead, and I'm gonna go through this, and I'm gonna use that silver to totally revamp the account. So let's look at the champions. We've got a nice +1 Fushan. I'm not sure where he must have got a second Fushan and just decided to +1 him. The Fushan is used in the clan boss team, so very important. Leorius. As far as I see, especially with the 3-star, Leo is the strongest nuker on the account. Definitely the strongest nuker on the account. Razelvarg, a great fusion. A lot of us have him. It's nice that he got the Ronda Soul. And Ronda's booked. So definitely, I'm thinking Tag Arena when I see this booked Ronda here. Trunda, who I actually built out when I was doing an account takeover for him because I was trying to use her in Hydra. And I wasn't actually able to use her in Hydra like I thought I was going to. So I took the gear off of her. But it is nice that he ended up kind of using her as his main nuker, PvP nuker. Riho Bone Spear, really interesting champion that I've never used before. I have seen her a ton with the content creators. This one, Pressure Points, is extremely strong. Like the stun, HP burn, decreased defense, weaken, attack, C-rate, it is crazy, this attack right here. It's super crazy. And then when receiving any debuffs, it instantly transfers them to the attacker, so... yeah, and then tons of other stuff. This champion is really, really cool and really, really fun. Arbiter, obviously, we're all familiar with Arbiter. This Arbiter is a little over 300 speed, 315 speed. That's okay. As the game's kind of been progressed lately, Gold 5 Arena is harder. And it seems that 350 is kind of the speed that you want to be pushing high Gold 5. I know it sounds crazy, 350, but from my calculations, that's about what it is. Mine on my main is 385, and I'm really trying to get it up to 400. But it's hard. But the level of competition in Arena has changed, and I would expect at one point that they're going to add another tier or maybe expand the amount of people that can end in plat by a couple hundred. I think as they're trying to progress the game and the game becomes more popular, that is just the next natural step. Warlord, which I do not have, but I do have 2 Yumiko's, so I understand his lockout ability. His lockout ability is better than Yumiko's lockout ability. We all know that. It's better by 1 turn, but it doesn't have the small Kaimar reset attached to it like Yumiko does. But still, you want him to be built fast and with high accuracy, and that's not how he's built right now. So he's really not being used very well. Artak, Hydra, Spider, Wukong, probably the best pre-release champion ever. I think better than Ninja. Extremely great champion. It's booked, but he doesn't have any gear. I didn't take the gear off him either, but so we'll have to deal with that. Then a bunch of good champions here without gear. A lot of champions without gear. Let's go look at some of his teams that I can show you because I've really only experienced his champions from playing them. So we're in gold 2 because I haven't been playing that much, but we're using his 315 Arbiter speed lead with a Warlord, Madame Ceres, and then Trinity Nuke. But it's strange because he has Warlord built for damage, which is terrible. As you can see, the Warlord does quite a bit of damage before the Trunda comes in and hits him with her nuke. Alright, as you can see, let's do another one of those arenas. Because I don't like it. I actually hate it. I hate it a lot. Yeah, let me just show you here. So he's going to attack all enemies and put all those skills on cooldown, and then he's also going to do damage to them. But why the heck are you doing damage to them? Look at that. You're supposed to be the lockdown high accuracy guy. And then Trunda for the cleanup, okay? Whatever it is. I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna try to look for an Arbiter team that might be able to beat us. Maybe this one. So the idea of undercutting in Arena is when your Arbiter is very fast, but the gap between your Arbiter and your second champion is pretty big. So then their Arbiter, even though it's slower than you, goes second, and then she can actually boost her team higher than yours because the gap between your Arbiter and the rest of your team is too great. But something that you can do instead of trying to up the speed of your debuffer and your nuker, you run the really fast Arbiter and then you run a second champion like a Warlord or a Yumiko with high accuracy, only 20-30 speed below your Arbiter, and then they will lock out the other team's Arbiter or whichever champion they're supposed to use to boost their speed, whether it's Elva, Shuzen. It locks them out, and then they're not able to boost their team, and then your team, who happens to be slightly slower, still gets to make their move because the Arbiter's just going to A1, and nothing's going to happen when Arbiter just A1s. So another reason I really don't like this is because the Trunda is not hitting very hard. The Trunda is not hitting very hard at all. So we need to totally rebuild his arena team, my arena team, I suppose now, and it's gonna be built like this. It is gonna be Arbiter, and we're gonna try to make you a little faster, Arbiter, and it's gonna be Warlord. Yeah, and we're gonna roll with a Madame Sarah's Warlord. That really is good, but we're gonna go Leo because Leo smacks. Leo absolutely smacks. He smacks way harder than Trunda, way harder than almost every champion in the game. So this is eventually how we're gonna do it. And now I want to look at the tag arena. So this is as far as the priority of what champions or what teams I want to be built. For me, I'm not going to touch the clan boss team. Everybody that's in the clan boss team, because there's a one key Ultra Nightmare on all affinities here using Myth Fu. Myth Fu is the second best clan boss team in the game, second to the Lydia Cardiel that I'm using. And there's actually a couple of new ones I think that are actually really good. But yes, we're not going to touch a clan boss team. So then I'm going to take gear off of everybody else, and I'm going to put all the nuke gear on Leo. Because that's how we're going to get our medals on Classic Arena. Is we really need to have a really strong Leo. He's going to be our medal guy. And I'll probably try to put him to 160 speed and then use 6-star speed glyphs and maybe bump it to 170 speed because we're going to run him pretty slow and we want to run him really, really strong. We're going to take this damage build off of Warlord, this poor Warlord being so handicapped, and we're going to bump his speed up to like 280 and bump his accuracy up to like 500 because we want him to go right after our Arbiter. We want him to go. We don't want him to get undercut because he's really slow. He's almost 100 speed slower than the Arbiter, so the other team's Arbiter can go and boost their team because our team's too slow. So yeah, we'll bump him up to like 280 and 500 accuracy. See that? And then yeah, like I said, Leo to be the damage guy. And actually haven't really looked at the Madame Sarah. She did nothing wrong. She's babe. CVC. Let's bump all these up to 16. All right. So how's her build? You know, this is actually not bad. Maybe a little bit more defense, a little bit more speed, a little bit more accuracy. You know, if I could do that. Oh, masteries. She needs masteries. Pretty sure there's a lot of. All right. We'll do that later. She's booked. Perfect. Yeah, we might be able to put enough defense and accuracy on her with those masteries to make her a little bit stronger. So that's the main team. The way that I approach tag, and I think a lot of people should approach tag, is making 3 unique teams because you have to have 3 unique teams for tag. So I want each of my tag teams to be a team that I would actually use in Classic Arena and that could actually get wins. I don't want to take my main team up and think, oh, they all have the strongest gear. Let me put one of them in each team because I'll bolster each team a little bit. No, you need to go all out concept like speed or go second, block damage. You have to have a play with each team. So breaking the team up and just trying to do it with like player power, it's not going to work. So this one eventually is going to be this main team. The team number 1 in tag is going to be my normal classic team. You know, the one that I just mentioned. It's going to be my strongest team. And they don't have the gear right now, but they're going to get geared. So now I know I'm going to need probably 2 Ghost second teams. Wukong, although he has a speed aura, is much more well suited to be in a Ghost second team. The lack of Pythion on this account is a big deal. So I'm thinking for Ghost second, we want some people that can kind of absorb hits while also CCing and protecting their friends. So we're gonna go Tormin, Valkyrie, Elva for some heals, and they're both defense, and then Wukong. And it doesn't matter if Wukong dies because he'll just revive himself. And Elva, if I build these two could be built with crit damage, but they'll also get their own defense from being defense based. We'll build her for speed and tank, and then we'll build him pure damage. And that'll be a good team 2. So now for team 3, I'm looking for speed. I don't see any speed lead. Deacon. We're going to go with the Deacon Armstrong here for the team 3. Well, wait, maybe I think the Deacon's actually handicapped, and oh, Deacon's not used in a Myth Food team. Is he? No, Deacon's not used in a Myth Food team. Deacon is not used in a Myth Food team. Perfect. We'll have to rebuild this Deacon to make him do what we want him to do. There's no Duchess here, right? I didn't see any Duchess. No. I don't know about Riho. I've never really used her in the arena, but I guess we're gonna go with the Trunda. So Deacon's gonna kind of slow the other team down, speed us up, so and weaken them with his decreased defense. So if Trunda does get a turn, this should work pretty well. For some reason, I hate playing the Helicaths. I know it's good. It's a good move. I just hate doing it. I have Helicath on both my accounts. Oh fuck it, let's do the Helicath, right? And Sill, just to kind of do the keep the Trunda alive play. So assuming that this is how I want to run this tag, which I think it is. I think it is how I want to run the tag. The gear priority is obviously Arbiter gets all the speed gear on the account, and then Warlord is going to get the best attack. I mean the best accuracy / speed gear on the account, and then Leoris is going to get the best nuking gear on the account. If something has to get stolen from Madame Ceres to go onto Warlord, I'll do that. But we're just going to give her an average build. We're not going to give her a super good build. The Wukong's going to get the second best attack nuker build on the account, and Trunda is going to get the third best attack nuker build on the account, because that's how I view them and how strong they are. And this is, again, the team that gets used all the time. We're going to build Tormin and Valkyrie the exact same, because yeah, if you read their kits, you'll see why. They are both defense nukers that benefit from accuracy passively, so um, they both benefit from accuracy passively. So it is like the same champion. and then Elva to heal. We're going to try to build Deacon pretty fast if I can get him closer to 300 speed. And then also I'm going to bump this Helicath up to make him kind of fast to protect everybody else. And then even if the Deacon dies, the Helicath can get everybody block damage, and the Syl can kind of bring everybody up. So that's how I'm thinking about that. The dungeon teams need work too. Like, especially, I don't really care about the Ice Golem, but we need to get this Seer really working with the Renegade. Like, I think I tried to set this team up, but it didn't work very well. So what should happen is the Seer should one-shot the team. Using the Ghostborn is like a Lydia, almost. It shouldn't take this long to kill the waves, this is the problem. Yeah, so the Seer's doing the work here with those 2 one-shots on the waves. So the Saltus is going to reflect all the poisons back onto the boss, but I think he needs some of them to live. Yeah. So I'm gonna try to get this is the Spider 10 or the Dragon 10 speed team I'm gonna get working here. This is the exact team. And a Crizia or Ganut would make everything a little bit better. Spider. Again, we're just doing this team, but there is a Husk. It's like a Husk on the account, and a Husk here, so we can put a Husk in, like probably for the Ragash. Build a Husk, put him in for the Ragash, and there is a potential for like a really low Spider on this account. I'm just trying to figure it out. But, you know, definitely a good account all around with all the champions. Not built nearly, I think, like how I would do it. And, I mean, some of them are good. Like, it's a really good clan boss team. The clan boss team is awesome. With the Fushan here. Yeah, the clan boss team is super good. Not that many good Legos down here, like in the 50 range. Looks like all the good ones have been built. Septimus is really good, actually. He could definitely do some work on the Spider 10. Better than Husk. Yeah, that looks like a good idea. Yep, and farming these souls for the rares is always good to have a couple rares with maxed out souls. Same thing with the epics. It's easy to max out these epics with the souls, and it makes a big difference. Yeah, like so I'm gonna rebuild all the champions that I want to do this Hydra next week. It's not gonna be the same Hydra as this week. I'm finally gonna invest some of the silver into it. It's gonna be Ugo for the block buffs. So when I'm building a Hydra team, I want somebody to boost everybody's speed. Necmo here is the best probably at it. I want a Hex. That's Michinaki. I want to remove buffs. That's Michinaki. I want to block buffs. That's Ugo. I want HP burn. That's Artak. I want revive. That's Elva. It is only a single target revive, and it's would be better. A Python would be better. Python or Duchess. That sort of thing. And then Visix here is doing a provoke. And I put the Visix in here for the provoke to do this past week. Another healer or reviver would be nice here, but we don't have enough champions doing multiple abilities. Michinaki, kind of in Necmo, Ugo, I guess are the best ones. And then for this normal team, the normal team this week did pretty good. Razelbarg is acting as our speed lead here. He gives everybody increased speed. Trunda is doing a lot of damage, and it's surprising how much damage that she does. It surprises me every time I see it. Riho bringing some like block buffs, then a bunch of debuffs for the other team. Geo bringing a single target HP burn, so a bigger HP burn might be better, but then you'd lose his passive, and we are getting a lot from his passive. And then Arbiter as an AoE revive, she's just not tanky enough, you know, to have somebody better, to have somebody like another legendary, like a Python or something would be better there. And then Mithril is bringing the Hex, and then a lot of damage mitigation. So Mithril, awesome. Then the hypothetical third team, I guess, is going to be a Kemptum as a Hex. It's like nobody here. I don't have block buffs in this second team. I do have Wukong as an option. Maybe next week I can take Riho out for Wukong. Try that. Alright, so we use a Kemptum as a lead because he has speed in all battles. Pretty great champion. This guy, Ostrox, is block buffs. So we got Hex, block buffs. We need HP burn. I guess Venus does the job. She does indeed do the job. Somebody for speed is now what I'm looking for. Again, the Deacon Armstrong here, even though it's not really speed. But the enemy is immune to the turn meter, so you're not getting that much of a boost with him. The Elva also brings speed up here too, so they're getting a lot of speed on that top team. So that is a dilemma. I see nobody to really bring a lot of speed to this team. Alright, so what else do you need? We need Revive, so Syl the Drakes. And she brings a little bit of healing. She has a similar thing to Elva, but it's not as good. She has speed, right? No. Does not have speed. The Ragash has speed. No, he does speed. And he's not gonna die. So it's a little bit extra damage, brings some speed and strengthen. Ragash should be a good one there. Alright. And then what else do we need here? We have Hex. We have HP burn, we have block buffs, we have revive, we have speed and a little bit of strengthen. remove buffs would be nice. Man, beggars can't maybe be choosers. So maybe we want somebody who's gonna actually, you know, help the whole team. Maybe a cleanse like this Doom Priest to bring an AoE cleanse to the team. Yeah. So I have to rebuild these champions. You know, I'm gonna look at all of them and give them quick builds. I'm gonna run the builds through the optimizer. You know, like I always do. And yeah, maybe I'll make a video with the optimizer. Kind of, I've been wanting to make one about kind of how to min-max your stats and stuff, because it's important, especially with this game because it's so like gear based. But yeah, all right, that's gonna be the end of this video for me. Again, you can watch it when it uploads here in a little bit. The beginning of the video is me going through a little bit of my account and the Clan vs Clan stuff, and then it's Mal's account and what I like about it and what I don't. So, alright, it's been cool. Peace.